that's where your human intervention comes in. That's where you kind of yes, the machine or the robot will obviously give you the same answers if you ask the same questions. Modify, optimize your questions, figure out different ways. That's where our intelligence is needed. And how do we make sure that if you search even in a Google search bar, if you were to ask the same question, it's going to reply the same. You're going to get the same results 15 times, 20 times, 100 times. It's going to give you the same results. Ask a different question, ask in different ways, ask in different in different ways that it gives out different results. And then you put your thought and apply your intelligence and how you're going to mix match and create the best form. My name is Tina, and let's get started with my story. So my story dates back to 2008, and it was while then that I first got into post my studies. I got into corporate communication. So that was my first entry, my first job, so I did my internship in ITC and so forth. It just led on to other companies. But what really, or maybe something interesting that happened back then, is that I got also exposed to digital marketing in 2008. So that was very early, where India was not very matured in terms of digital content, PR, or marketing. So how did I get into it? I got into it through a lot of freelance projects. I used to work for international clients, and it gave me a little advantage than the rest of my colleagues, because back then it was at a very native stage, and I could see how brands evolved through the years, went through so many Google algorithms, what succeeded, what escaped through, and what bombed. So I could see so many brands go up and down, and what worked, what did not work. Back then it was very little that we could do. Blogs were a big thing, search engine optimization, and content was big. It is still big today, but the way we can get things, the way we can get things done right now is amazing, and it's fabulous. So yeah, that was my entry, and it's been so long. I've worked with so many industries, so many businesses, whether it's a service or a product, right from marketing agency. I've worn various hats throughout my career, that of a digital marketer, corporate communications, PR, professional, and so forth. So today I head the corporate communications at Allstate. Data, when I first started off, was very little, but it was quite a lot back then. Knowing how many blog views, or probably your website in terms of your bounce rate, your engagement, to your website hits, and then slowly heat maps started coming in, and then you started understanding that where are your audiences landing, and what was the tree map into your website. And those kind of data, actually, through the years it has evolved. And today we are sitting on amazing, it's like a gold mine of data. But what is the key factor that I could take out from, looking into data and making good, intelligent business decisions? So data not only helps you to make good decisions, but it is also a very credible way of counseling your stakeholders, because you do not run the entire business, right? You as a professional have to convince your stakeholders as to why a certain decision is right, and to counsel them, to tell them, hey, listen, this is what we should be doing, and this is what works. Is the only true form of convincing is through data. So if I were to show you data and say, hey, listen, we did this, and historically this has worked, this has not worked, and this is how we should go, makes our lives easier as professionals, because we do not want to go with gut feeling, but more on making informed decisions. So data back then and data even today holds a big place in how we shape our storytelling, how we want to counsel our stakeholders, and ultimately how we want to achieve our goals, whether it's practical or not. I think that, anybody in my field have gone through so many campaigns, have done so many campaigns, have seen the rise and fall of so many campaigns. And it is usually a same drill on how you start a campaign, how you launch it, pre-launch, launch, and sustenance. That's okay. And backed up with a lot of data as to what is working, and in between you optimize it, and whether there are marketing professionals who want to sell a product, whether it's corporate professionals who want to see more of engagement, PR professionals who want to see more of brand mentions, all of them do through data. But I want to share something different here. I want to share that campaigns may be many, but the purpose by which you do a campaign and the effect it brings in is more important. So let me share a very small story, a very small campaign that we did recently in my company. And what the key that I took is that never underestimate however small your campaign is. So usually what happens when brands bring out campaigns with stakeholders talking about their business, it's mostly about the big top management speaking about the business, growth, statistics, and so many things. And very serious conversations. But this time what we did is that, okay, we thought that this was more on, recruitment and retention, this campaign. So we thought that, okay, why don't we do a bottom-up approach? And we thought, let us bring the newbies, as in the new hires, freshers who have joined the organization, ask them why they joined the organization. And what is it that, they heard about our brand that made them decide? Obviously, every candidate has so many offers in their hand, but what made them choose us than anyone else? And okay, so this happened, very small budget, very small campaign. We did not give as much importance as, we were like, okay, this is very small and it's brand building. But let me tell you something that we learned out of this. The folks who got an opportunity to speak for the brand, and they were so empowered. And the kind of engagement we saw. So we did not expect that kind of an engagement because, only the top shots, they have a circle and connections, and, we get so many engagement through them. But what we got from these campaigns, we kind of realized those freshers have a much more bigger fan following and bigger, they can make it more viral than the top management, and their friends, they have more cheerleaders for them. So the kind of engagement that we got, the kind of empowerment that we gave to these newbies, new hires, and the whole goodwill that this entire brand campaign created was fabulous. Because after that, everybody, the feeling of importance that I am somebody for this brand and I'm being chosen to speak for or advocate for this brand is truly empowering. And the way they came back and they became more loyal, or however they came and asked for more opportunities. Hey, we did this and we want to talk about this, I missed out that. And the kind of response we got and the engagements, was mind-blowing. I mean, I do not have to even say about it. So it created such a huge impact. So that's where I come from. Yes, in terms of data, we got a lot of engagements, a lot of responses, and that's what we want. The kind of shares we got, visibility was great, with absolutely no budget, no ad spends on that. But what I would want to add out here is that the moment you realize what your purpose is towards a campaign, that's going to be the best you would do. For Corpcom professionals, for brand building, it's mostly engagement. The kind of engagements that you see in terms of like, share, responses, and comments, all of them combined together in a bundle. And the visibility that you see through these metrics is very important. This I'm talking in social media. Now, were you to link it back to your website, of course you would want to track how many people entered your website, viewed it, if there is a response that is led out of it, and anything of those. So these are the major that we track, and obviously. Sometimes data is not only on those numbers, it's also on people coming up to you and saying, hey, yeah, you're from that, right? I saw that campaign of yours. It was really good. So that is more more satisfying, because when you go out and people say, hey, you're from that company, the campaign that you did, we saw it on social, that also is lovely feedback. It's how you use it that makes it a boon or a bane. So it has its pros and cons, and I think it is a great armor. It's a great ammunition for any professional in the field. It boosts, it gives wings to your capabilities. So what power was limited is now unlimited. It's infinite, and the way you use it you can catapult yourself to almost any heights. So when you use AI, blindly trusting it and not having a human thought or intervention inside it may make it a pro con. But if you use your brain, your analytics, because a human touch and element is important. So the moment you put in your thoughts combined with what the AI is producing, that's when you create magical work. Well, there might be a lot, but a lot of people might agree with me. Finding out anonymous viewers, like for our campaigns, when you see this many views, if I were to know who those people were exactly, I would be able to target my campaign better. But unfortunately, that metric is not there. You get only the numbers in terms of views. But that is something, you kind of, because you and me, right? We might see videos and we might scroll through, we might not interact with those videos, although the tool might know how to suggest it to us. I mean, our pattern of, viewing content. But if the brands were able to know who views your video, probably that would be really helpful. Yeah, I just heard this quote that in a world of a lot of irrelevant information, clarity is power. And how do you achieve that clarity is find your purpose. Ask yourself the question, why? Why are you doing what you're doing? No matter how small or big your work might be, or whatever you are in, the moment you ask yourself, why are you doing what you are doing, you'll achieve clarity. And that's the way, that's your guiding light, that's your North Star, and follow it. Clarity should be there, because clarity is your guiding light. Clarity is going to be your no matter, you might not have any tools with you, you might not have any AI, you might not have anything with you. The moment you have clarity that this is what you're supposed to do or why you are doing it, the doors open, you find your way out, and you achieve your results.